Good morning, learners, and welcome to our today's science lesson. On the 6th day of July, where we're going to look at weather instruments. But remember, learner, we have been revising since we began our online lessons. We began looking at the parts of the human body. I mean the human body that we looked at. We looked at the breathing system and the digestive system, and I was happy that most of you were able to get the question that I gave. Some time back, we also looked at plants, that I'm quite sure that you are able to answer all the questions in plants correctly. So we are now in topic 4. That we are the major thing here is weather, and just from the first word there in the word weather instruments. Before we go to the instruments, we need to look at some terminologies. These are the terms that you're going to look at in most cases in this particular topic. As without understanding them, we are not going anywhere. So before understanding this, we can't go to the weather instruments. So what is weather? Our first terminology here. So learner, weather from the word how it is there, weather is the condition of the atmosphere of a place at a given time. This is the condition. The condition of atmosphere. Condition of atmosphere of a place. Of a place at a given time. Meaning we can ask, what is the weather? What was the weather yesterday at 5 p.m.? If the person is very specific at a given time, the time there at 5 p.m., what was the weather? Was it raining? Was it sunny, or it was calm, for example? So if the person wants you to answer, to answer the condition of the atmosphere by that time, at a place, maybe you can ask in Mombasa, within Mombasa, what was the condition of the atmosphere? So the weather, we say that the weather was raining, for example. So you're given the right answer because it wants the condition of the atmosphere, what was happening. And then comes to a weather station. A weather station is just a place. This one must be a place. It's a place where the weather instruments, are kept. Oh, we can talk of stored. Let me write the word stored, a bit complex. So it's where they are kept. Take an example of a simple one that we know, a rain gauge, for example. A rain gauge. A rain gauge is kept in the weather station. So it is there where people who study weather, we're going to see them later, people who study weather will go there to check the amount of rainfall, for example, of a given day. So they will go to the weather station there where the rain gauge is kept, where it is kept or where it is found for them to read the amount of rainfall. So a weather station is simply where the weather instruments are kept. So we know them. A weather station, inside the weather station there, we have all the weather instruments, plus there is a small place there that is normally called a Stevenson screen. A Stevenson screen. So in this one is just a small house. Normally it takes this shape. Then it's lifted up using some poles. Just a simple box. Then it is lifted up from the ground. It's lifted using some poles to make it raised higher. Then some instruments are kept in it. Those maybe are very delicate instruments. We learn them later. The instruments that are found in a Stevenson screen. So this screen is also among the instruments. It is automatically found inside a weather station. There's no other places where you can get a Stevenson screen except a weather station. So much for that. Then we have our number 3, a weather chart. A weather chart is simply a chart. This one is a chart that contains weather records. Containing weather records. Weather records for a day, for a singular day, for example. For a singular. The word singular day there is very important. But you can't have a chart waiting for a whole year. In most cases, we have a weather chart that does go for a day. That in the morning there was rain, in the afternoon the atmosphere was calm, in the evening there was a storm. So a weather chart will give you the weather records of a day, as we have mentioned, and then go to meteorologists. Meteorologists is a person, these are people, because we can see that as they are meteorologists. So meaning these are many. The topic of meteorologist is one person. So meteorologists are people who study weather. These are people who study weather. Then comes to meteorology. Meteorology, from the word meteorology, is the study. This is the study of weather. The study of weather is called meteorology. Meteorology, from the word meteorology. Then meteorologists are people or a person, if it is one, who study weather. Then atmosphere. Atmosphere is the space above the earth surface. You might normally talk of birds fly in the atmosphere. Yes, the space above the ground. So the space above the earth's surface, that is the atmosphere. And that is what we normally talk of atmospheric change, the changes that happens in the atmosphere. Atmospheric changes. Maybe we are fond of having rainfall in April, but because of this, due to atmospheric changes, we can no longer experience a lot of rainfall in April. So meaning, when the atmosphere is affected, maybe because of some human activities, we may end up having a lot of effects. So we talk of atmosphere there, the atmospheric changes. So apart from that, we have elements of weather, of which, from just the word elements of weather are just what we normally experience, on every day. Every day, the changes we have in the environment daily or after some given time. Like if you talk of rain, no matter talk of the weather is rain. That rain there is an example of an element of weather. Rainy, we have sunny, someone talks of the weather is sunny, it's calm, and etc. There are so many. Those are the elements of weather. Sunny, calm, those are the elements of weather. We learned them in class 3. And then the weather instruments are the major issue here. Remember our topic was the air weather instruments. With the weather instruments are just all the instruments that are used to measure weather. They are all instruments. All of the instruments used to measure weather. So that is what we are going to. And just to begin, I'll begin with the first one, the weather instrument number 1. That is Roman numbers. Here we have a rain gauge. Very important. Then number 2, we have a wind vane. Then we have number 3, a windsock. Then number 4, we have a thermometer. Then number 5, we have liquid thermometer. So from the way their name suggests, beginning number 5, this liquid thermometer, meaning it uses the issue of liquid coming there. So we must differentiate them. Air thermometer, meaning this one measures air temperature. Let me not get into that now. We will see them later when we come to them. So here we have a rain gauge. A rain gauge is a weather instrument that measures the amount of rainfall. Then we have a wind vane that measures the direction of wind, only direction of wind. Then comes the windsock that measures 2 elements of weather. To measure the strength, and there are 2 things: strength and direction. The direction of wind. So then I mark that. A wind vane talk of direction. A windsock, strength and direction of wind. And then air thermometer, these 2 measures temperature, but we will come to see which one measures which type of temperature and etc. So we are going to begin the rain gauge, and we see exactly what a rain gauge is and many things about a rain gauge. We just mentioned that a rain gauge measures the amount of rainfall. So it's now our subtopic. What is a rain gauge? I'll begin by it measures the amount of rainfall over a given time. We write that a rain gauge measures the amount of rainfall at a given time. Meaning you can talk of at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. it was this. So you talk of that time. Don't talk of just the amount of rainfall, not even a given time. So the issue of time is very crucial. You must take it in consideration. So it measures the amount of rainfall at a given time. So we'll see how rainfall is measured. The units of measuring rainfall. Rainfall is measured in millimeters, mm. You know that term, so you don't need to write it in full. Millimeters is the amount of measuring rainfall. Millimeters. So a rain can look like this. We have, on top of a collecting jar there, and then there is a funnel. There's a funnel that is normally coming like that. There's a funnel. There's a funnel that looks like that. So there's a funnel that collects water. And then there's this tube here. So this funnel is inserted on a certain jar-like structure here. So the wall of this particular collecting jar has the scale. So this one is our measuring scale. A scale is simply used for measurement. And then we have the plastic, is a plastic bottle here. And then here we have a funnel. As I mentioned before, there's a funnel there. The work of this funnel is to collect water, and then it directs water into this particular plastic bottle. And then we are able to see We measure from down, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going upwards. So remember that we measure from down, we measure. When water enters, water will enter in this particular bottle, and it will rise depending on the amount of rainfall. It may rise until maybe it may be full, but in most cases, we don't see it getting full because only little amount of water will enter this particular place. So we read this scale from down. Take it very keen. Be very keen when you talk of this, because realize that there are some other instruments that we name when we read their scale from up. But in this case, we read the scale from down. As you can see, 0, 1, 2, going upwards. So there are a number of things we need to know here. So the diameter of the funnel here, there's this question about the diameter of the funnel. The diameter of the funnel will always be 13 centimeter. The diameter of the funnel is normally said to be 13 centimeter. And then when making a rain gauge, there is that question again. When you've been told to name whatever we need while making a rain gauge, those things must be known very well in this lesson. So when making a rain gauge, a simple rain gauge at home, we need making a simple rain gauge. So the thing that we need, the materials, very important. We are in need of a plastic bottle. Plastic bottle. You saw it when we drew it there. Number 2, we are in need of a sharp knife. A sharp knife there will be used to trim certain things when making it. We need a manila paper. A manila paper. Manila paper will be used there to make our scale. Then we have a sellotape. A sellotape will help us along a number of cases. Number 1 is to stick that manila paper on the wall of our bottle. Then we have a collecting bottle. Collecting bottle, very important. And then lastly, we have a ruler. A ruler will help us to make our measuring scale. So later we brought this in examination that Jane collected the following materials. Jane collected a plastic bottle, a sharp knife, manila paper, a sellotape, a ruler, and a collecting bottle. What was Jane likely to make? So Lana, if the topic is in the setting of weather instruments, you know very well that Jane wanted to make a rain gauge. You don't need even to look at a lot of things. You want to see a plastic bottle. There was a knife that was used to shape that the funnel. No, that funnel, the way you see it, we mentioned something about a diameter, the diameter of 18 centimeters. So that is meaning it is being made by someone. It's a funnel being made by you when using a manila paper. You use a funnel, you may use a manila paper to make that funnel, and then that particular bottle is being fixed, and then automatically you shall have made a scale. You have stitched it there, and you number it as it was supposed to be. So from there, Lana, there is the steps. Steps are very simple. Like you use the knife to cut off the top part of the plastic bottle to make a funnel. So in this case, we're not going to use a manila paper to make the funnel, but we use a bottle. You remember how we normally use a bottle like the one for water bottle? We can shape it. We can cut this part, then this other part, the other part A, will automatically be a funnel. Then we put it upside down. So this part B will now look like that, and then you bring that part A to face down. Now come to look something like this. shall have made completed arrangement. That was we are being told that cut it using a knife and then use the ruler to and another paper to make a scale in millimeters. Here that it is measured in millimeters. Remember that? It's measured in millimeters. And then attach the prepared measuring scale onto the collecting bottle. As I just mentioned there, attach it and then fit the funnel into the collecting bottle, which has the measuring scale as we mentioned. So under that, how do we use it now? You go to the using after knowing how to make it. I hope you can make a simple one at home. The final part of our lesson will be how to use a rain gauge and why certain things are the way they are in a rain gauge. So how to use? Or just talk about using a rain gauge. How do we use a rain gauge? Number one, a rain gauge is set on a flat ground, not on a place where there are buildings and some houses maybe, for example. So it's good to place in the field. Put in an open place, not next to a house, where you get that some water from the gutter that are coming from the roof of the house may fill the rain gauge very, very fast. That's so to prevent accurate measurements. Put it on a flat ground like here, where the exact water from the only the rainwater shall have entered into the collecting jar. So we are told that we should avoid putting rain gauge near houses or under trees. That will bring inaccurate measurements. So we are being told that it should be put on a flat ground or open areas away from trees and buildings for accurate measurement. Remember that. For accurate measurement should be placed on a flat ground, not under trees, not under next to houses and tall buildings. Number two, a rain gauge when upright has a height of 45 centimeters. Remember that the way it is, it has a height of 45 centimeters. That is the height of our rain gauge. It should not go more than that. And then it's placed about 15 centimeters deep. We place it 15 centimeters deep, the soil. Why? To make it. We place it 15 centimeters deep, the soil. And why is it put 15 centimeters deep? To make it firm and reduce the rate of evaporation. To make it firm, meaning to avoid falling down. It may fall and then it will receive inaccurate results. To make it firm, and again, to reduce the rate of evaporation. You know that water expands when heated. That one was learned in class 4. Water expands. When water is heated, it expands. It can evaporate in the environment. So it is put underground to reduce the rate of water evaporation when the sunshine. Then we have the top of the funnel is 30 centimeters above the ground. The top of the funnel is 30 centimeters above the ground. And why is it 30 centimeters above the ground? It is to prevent water on the ground from splashing. So this one is to prevent splashing of water into the funnel. So meaning this one is also for accuracy. We avoid splashing of water for accurate results. So learner, I think that point I believe that we have tackled these major aspects of our rain gauge. Remember the diameter of the funnel should be We talked of 13 centimeter, the diameter is 13 centimeter of our funnel. And then this thing, the whole of it, how I drive it, the whole of it until the ground. Maybe there is a bottle inside here for connecting. So from this part to this point should be 30, 45 centimeter. We mentioned 45 centimeter. Then 15 goes down. 15 centimeter goes down the soil of say. We put it 15 centimeter down to make it firm and again to reduce the rate of evaporation of water that is already in the jar. So 15, if 15 goes down, how many are above there? That is 30. 30 is 15 goes down, so that's 25. 25 is up. 25 centimeter is up. And again, from the top of the soil, you'll mention something about that. Yes. So 15 is here, meaning 30 is above the soil, and we have mentioned that 30 is above the soil too for accuracy. For accuracy, and again to reduce the splashing of water, to prevent splashing of water that may come. On the ground, let us assume that this is a flat ground. We normally have running water that runs because of floods. So to prevent that, realize that this flooding water will just pass. It won't get into the funnel for an inadequate results. So to avoid that, we erect this thing above the ground, that is a little bit above it, to prevent splashing of water anyhow, to avoid running water from entering that, so that we can only collect rainwater that will drip into it for collection of the correct, of the accurate results. So Lana, I want to stop there. In our next lesson, we are going to look at instrument 2. That's going to be our instrument. So I'm going to give you questions on the topic that we have just, on the subtopic, rain gauge, and the introduction part that we have done, to see if we have captured the smoke that we have done. Until next time, I want to wish you well.